And I believe if she was here today and could see this assemblage of family and friends, she would grin from ear to ear and say that my cup runneth over. On several occasions when I would attend gatherings amongst old Oshawa people, or in Fletcherton, the home of the McTavish clan, or in meetings with individuals who knew Mum over the years, often someone would come to me and say, "You know, I knew your mother years ago," or "I have known Margaret for years." And then they would say something to the effect that she always spoke well of everyone she knew, that she never spoke ill of anyone, and that she was a real lady, that she was a happy and positive person. And it was true. She was a fine, old-fashioned lady. And as a person close to the family said many years ago about Beatrice Daniels, the Nana of my generation, and Margaret's mother, she was one of nature's ladies. Margaret Daniels had also been Ray and Beatrice Daniels' adoring daughter, Brother Donald's loving sister, an active participant in a circle of young friends that my sisters and I came to know by name as she regaled us with the stories, as she regaled us with the stories of Oshawa, Bowmanville Beach, and Caesarea. And she was a girl guide, and she loved the campfire sing-along songs, and she taught her kids every song she ever knew while we washed the dishes. And she became a friend, eventually girlfriend, to Brother Don's best friend, Dan McTavish. And was thinking of her in those days that I came to call my mom, Margie Daniels. She went to McDonald Hall in Guelph to take a homemaking course. And there, amongst several friends she made, was Anne Carney, who would marry George Story. And I remember Anne and George, the sons David and Donald, visiting with us in Ballot, where we lived nearby in West Toronto. She was a great mom. She taught me how to peel an orange, making 3 or 4 cuts and taking off the peel. And I've always thought of her every time I do that, for nearly 7 years. You may not like liver and onions. I do, despite my mother's skill as a cook. She always floured the liver in a brown paper bag, adding some salt and pepper. And she would say, "Put the flour, the salt and pepper in a brown paper bag and shake it until it's well coated, and then put it in the frying pan." And I still use a brown paper bag. Plastic just won't do. And if you look in my drawer at home, where I keep plastic wrap, wax paper, and foil, I also have a few brown paper bags, possibly saved from A&W or McDonald's, just so I have a brown paper bag when I'm in the mood for liver and onions. And I think of her every time I bring out that brown paper bag. I have since I started cooking for myself in my 20s, about 50 years ago and counting. And my dad, when my dad returned from the Second World War, we soon purchased a home in Toronto's West End, not far as it turned out for the story. And soon thereafter came Sisters Diana and then Mary. Dad worked hard, building a career without a luck. Ambitious to own his own business, he acquired Newmarket Motors. Then we moved first to Thornhill, where Sister Karen was born, and then to Newmarket, first moving in with Nana and Granddad Daniels until our new home was ready. Mom raised the kids, while Dad often worked late or traveled. And she taught us to help around the house, doing the dishes and singing her Girl Guide songs. While my father taught me that honesty is the best policy, and that your word is your bond. My mother taught me that beauty is only skin deep, meaning that a person's value lay on the inside, and that there is goodness in everyone, regardless of their circumstances or their origins. Together they instilled a firm work ethic, a sense of community responsibility, that the world was populated with decent folk, and we learned to value friends. Mom and Dad were a wonderful, loving couple, and set a standard that seemed hard to match. In those years, in my mind, my Margaret Daniels had become Margaret McTavish. Margaret McTavish. Before and after this, there was Ballin. But I'm not going to dwell on that today, except to say that Ballin and the Moon River became part of our roots and a place for the generations to mingle, and we hope the generations can do so for years to come. I'm also not going to dwell on the years that followed my father's passing, the years when Anna Daniels came to live at the Avonbridge Drive home in Court Credit, and Mom was secretary at the Court Credit Vocational School. However, after nearly 20 years of widowhood, George Story re-entered her life after his wife Anne had passed, and they recreated their friendship and created the love of their later lives. It was a wonderful, fulfilling marriage that was a pleasure for both of their families to witness. Characteristic of their generation, Margaret and George shared their lives with many lifelong as well as new friends, and enjoyed travel, family, ballad, and their lives together. Margie Daniels, who became Margaret McTavish, had now become Margaret Story. In the last several years, following George's passing, Mom has lived in the Birchmere residence in Aurelia with its marvelous setting, wonderful group of staff, and fellow residents. And she enjoyed summers in Ballin, supported by family, including Anne and Bud Letterdale, who have been adopted by all of our clan. She has been sustained by her faith, her positive attitude to life, her enjoyment of people, and her love for and devotion to family and friends, and those qualities persisted until her last conscious breath. And I would think if there is, in fact, a heaven, it will now be a better, kinder place. And I just might be able to hear her singing, "I'm looking over."